Here we are then, got this side, the starboard side, all glued up. And obviously thinking about the next process, which is to clean them off flush with the planks, we really want to make sure we get as much excess glue off as possible. And hopefully you can see that here. You know, I've just gone along with my stirring stick actually, which has got a nice very small radius on one corner, and that just leaves a nice little fillet just on these seams that are just protruding a couple of mil, so that any sort of raggedy edge to the plank seam can be filled at the same time. But you don't want any really big dribbles and big blobs stuck on there, because that's just going to dull your tools quickly, and you know, it's just generally a pain. So think about what your next process is going to be when you're using especially epoxies, because they're quite hard, especially if you're using a filler of some sort, and get as much off as possible. It's worth just, you know, on a job like this, just at the end of the day, probably half hour or so, just going around with a clean stick or something, just wiping up any dribbles and large areas of excess.